Hi, I'm Joe Ward of Boxer Shorts Media. Today I'll discuss an email from Mayor McDougall where she accuses the group responsible for netting the CBRM an extra $15 million in equalization funded transfer of mudslinging. The email was posted to GoCapeBreton.com yesterday by the Nova Scotians for Equalization Fairness Group. Now, although the mayor made history in the last CBRM election, in my view, her first year in office has been characterized by a series of missteps, and she's revealed a level of frustration at the most recent council session that is suggestive of issues with morale among herself and fellow council members. To be blunt, she often rushes the agenda and is very short with some of them.
What prevents us from changing the other part of it?
Councillor Green, we're not changing anything. We're invoking one part that we've already put into place. So please stop saying that we're changing something when we're not.
Even when they're raising valid concerns, like needing to determine how much taxi cab rates will increase before holding a public hearing to discuss that specific amount. I've also taken note that public participation in social media updates has been restricted to a degree that even her predecessor, Cecil Clark, did not move to stifle. That was likely a decision heavily influenced by the amount of vulgar, hateful, ignorant remarks from some of her fellow mayoral candidates. Nonetheless, a comments-disabled mayor is not really what we signed up for. Make no mistake, it is precisely the persistence of the NSEF group whose bold, insistent, persevering approach created the political pressure that caught the attention of would-be Premier Tim Houston, leading to a $15 million pledge that he has since followed through on. Sure, the NSEF immediately declared it as insufficient. It was never even close to the numbers they advocate for. But if any more money arrives, it'll be because they keep the message alive and they keep the pressure on. Politics is an ugly business. There's far too much check-the-box activity. Some politicians show up at a few NSEF events or invite them to council and agree that we need more, but then they consider that box checked and sit on their hands again. The NSEF writes letters to the editor because having a mayor or council sit on their hands or check a box once in a while isn't the way to secure more resources. The mayor's first budget session in the CBRM was last night on the north side. People showed up talking about high taxes and equalization and referring specifically to the NSEF group. Their influence is pervasive and clearly evident. In fact, the group is largely responsible for the decline of support for Mayor Cecil Clark, who ripped open the door to McDougall to defeat him in the election like a strong gust of wind in Shetty Camp. Mayor McDougall now has the luxury of entering budget talks with an extra $15 million in revenue at the disposal of her council to allocate. Yes, we're getting heavy garbage pickup this year. There'll be no debate and there'll be no drama. When she repaves a few more kilometers of roads, or announces an allocation to the new library to be set aside, or declares a token decrease in residential taxes, it will be the NSEF who is the source of all the goodwill that she generates as a result. They did the work to net that funding. For any of you out there who aren't at least moderately upset with politicians who aren't moving fast enough, then dig out your notice of tax assessment or your CBRM bill for your home and have a look. Maybe it's time for you to get a little impatient too. Mayor McDougall's email emphasizes that she represents 49 member municipalities in Nova Scotia as the president of the Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities, a group in which she's the acting president. Respectfully, I'd certainly rather she resign from that role. There's one member municipality among the 49 that she needs to put her focus on, and you guessed it, we call ourselves the CBRM. Their timelines cannot bottleneck our timelines. Their strategic approach cannot restrict our own, but it will for as long as the mayor is maintaining rules that put her in conflict. Their ask is even less than what Houston has already given us. What kind of ask is that? I'm a little disappointed in the version of the mayor that gets so easily frustrated with a group that let her start out as mayor with $15 million more in her budget, or that she would even consider leaving their emails unanswered. Let me now play you a clip. Can you imagine if this version of McDougall from 2017 was sitting in the mayor's chair today? I can, and I did when I voted for her.
To express how disappointed I am sitting around this table when we refuse, we just vote and block and nothing is happening. We're not doing anything to change it. All we talk about is economic development. That's it. Every day. How do we get people here? How do we keep them here? My God, people, it's right in front of us with $8.2 million of funding associated with it. I can't understand how we have to keep pushing things off. Get your calendars out. Let's do the work, people. Thank you.
Councillor Perush.
Well, it's obvious I picked the wrong time to speak. Very obvious. But, you know, I concur with the findings.
Please hang up and try again.